Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, will the Cowboys be just fine without Ezekiel Elliott? Dak Prescott sure thinks so. Plus, Skip explains why Jameis Winston is under huge pressure to deliver in Tampa Bay. And how will the Isaiah Thomas saga play out? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Ezekiel Elliott's hearing for the appeal of his 6-game suspension will reportedly last until tomorrow. Dak Prescott said he called Elliott before yesterday's session to lend support. Without Zeke, the Cowboys are expected to rely on Darren McFadden and Alfred Morris. And yesterday, Dak talked about the Dallas running game. Let's take a listen.
I don't think this offense is going to be much different. I mean, the way our team is built is kind of the way we played last year, just in a physical offensive line that wears people down. We've got great receivers to go make plays in the passing game. And as I said before, no matter who we put in a running back, I mean, I think both of those guys have been Pro Bowlers in their career, so it really doesn't matter.
Skip, do you like Dak saying this?
Joy, Shannon, I love that he said this. This is what a leader says. This is what a franchise quarterback says. This is what the next Roger Staubach says. Is that before your time, Roger Staubach?
I remember Roger Staubach.
Yeah, you should, because I knew him very well, and he was the leader of that locker room and that team. He was the clutch player who brought them from behind again and again, just the way we saw Dak do last year. And guess what? This is exactly what Tony Romo would not have said in this circumstance. Dak Prescott just turned 24 years of age. He is just entering his second NFL season. But even last year, I kept saying it over and over again, he handled himself like he had been the franchise quarterback for 10 years. And I fell out of my chair early last season when he even put the Pro Bowl receiver, the diva receiver, Des Bryant, in his place when he said, I will throw it to him when he is open. Remember that quote? That's from week 2 last year. And that was after Des Bryant had dropped a crucial turning point touchdown pass in the corner of the end zone in the opening game against the New York Football Giants, a game that wound up 20-19 New York. Do the math. Thank you very much.
Whatever, Skip.
And then guess what happened before week 3, game number 3?
What happened?
Des Bryant got hurt. And did we hear Dak say some big moaning, groaning? I guess we'll just have to muddle through and do the best we can without our best receiver. No, he didn't say that. They went on to San Francisco without Dez, and they came back from 14-0 down, and they won. And then they beat a Cincinnati team that you thought they had no chance of beating at home. And then guess what? They went to Aaron Rodgers. And they beat Aaron Rodgers, the greatest thrower of the football in the history of pro football, in his house without Des Bryant. And guess what? In that stretch, I don't know how, but Dak Prescott threw 6 touchdowns to only 1 interception and had an average QBR of 81. Trust me, that's high.
Hold on, Skip. They're going to be without Zeke,
yeah,
not Des
I got
Bryant.
it. I'm showing you what happened without the guy that everybody said they can't survive without. So here we go again. This is exactly the message you have to send to, number 1, your team. But guess who that message is also intended for? It's intended for his buddy Ezekiel. The message is, guess what?
What?
Nobody's irreplaceable. Guess what? We can win these games without you if we have to. Because Zeke didn't get hurt. He got in trouble. So here we go. And Dak did say that both these guys have made Pro Bowls. One of them has made 2 Pro Bowls. That's Alfred Morris, should have made 3, because remember his rookie year, he had 1,613 yards, which was real close to what Zeke had last year in his rookie year, 1,631, just a few yards short of that. He should have made the Pro Bowl that year, Alfred Morris in Washington. He did not. So between him and Darren McFadden, who's had 2,000-yard seasons, they have both had stunningly outstanding preseasons. I guess it doesn't matter, but guess what? Alfred Morris this preseason, 30 carries for 158 yards. That's a 5.3 yard per carry average. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Darren McFadden, 20 carries for 102 more yards. That's 5.1 a rush. That's pretty good. So even without Ezekiel Elliott, I'll go this far. The Cowboys have a better rushing attack than the New York Giants that you picked to get to the Super Bowl have right now. Help me out. Give me somebody.
Whoa.
Really? What? I'm looking. Wayne Gallman is your leading rusher in the preseason, the rookie from Clemson, with a 3.5 average? Really? I'll take my guys. My guys are really good. We're going to be just fine with my guys. And you know what? There's only one silver lining to know Zeke probably for the first 6 games. That is that Dak Prescott has a chance to make his early MVP case, just as he did last year, but nobody was watching, nobody was listening, especially you. And this gives him a chance to make all those ESPN experts who said he was the 77th best player in the NFL look foolish. And it might make you look even worse for saying he's the worst quarterback in the division this year. That's what you said last week. That's what you told me. He's the really. Here he is again. He has taken over this franchise. He is the face of this franchise. He is the leader of this franchise, and he just did a leader thing. Okay. Thank you.
Can I ask you a question? You said this is what franchise quarterbacks, this is what face of franchises do. If you don't mind me asking, what did Tom Brady say when he knew Julian Edelman was going to be out for the season?
Help me out. Your researcher told you.
Yo, Skip, I'm just asking you a question.
Well, what did your researcher tell you?
Did he say it does not matter? That's not what he said. He says, I feel bad for Julian Edelman.
Okay, there's a huge difference. He got hurt. Zeke got in trouble. Zeke is self-inflicted. Julian Edelman is a terrible accident. It's just like, how could that happen in a preseason
okay, let me ask you a question then. Did Dez Bryant get hurt, or was he suspended?
When?
Last year.
He was hurt.
Okay, and he said what? The very similar thing. Let me ask you a question. You see, for you, Dak can do no wrong. Because under his theory, if this is true, if something were to happen to him, I hope it doesn't, Cooper Rush should come in and say the same thing. Hey, we're going to be the same team with or without Dak Prescott.
You know,
how would you feel
by the way, Cooper Rush, I'm glad you brought him up. He's pretty good. Go ahead.
He got 2 last names, and one of them is the first name. Not gonna be good. But anyway.
Cooper's a good first name.
No, because
Ask
it's not.
Eli.
No. It's not going to be the same. Because if it was, they wouldn't have taken Zeke with the 4th overall pick. Because remember, with that same offensive line and Darren McFadden rushing for almost 1,100 yards, Skip, who did they take with the 4th pick in the draft after Darren McFadden rushed for over 1,000 yards?
Who'd they take in the 4th round of the draft?
No, Skip.
Who fell out of heaven into Jerry's lap?
I'm reclaiming my time.
Wait a second.
I'm reclaiming my
Joy,
time.
help me out here. Does he not keep asking me questions and sniffing? Wait a second. When he asks and sniffs, that's my cue to talk, right?
I'm reclaiming my time.
You do ask a lot of questions.
Okay. I want you to answer me this. I want you to ask. Nope, you got to answer this. Last season, Ezekiel Elliott averaged 5.1 yards a carry. Darren McFadden, behind that same offensive line, averaged how many yards, Skip? 3.6. Alfred Morris, behind that same offensive line, with that same quarterback under center, averaged how many yards per rush, Skip? 3.5. So what I'm trying to get at here, Skip, is Ezekiel is all these guys rolled up into one. He has the speed of McFadden. He has the patience, the vision.
He does.
Of Alfred Morris.
Okay.
Skip, this, you know what Zeke reminds me of? Zeke in our offense is TD. It's Terrell Davis. We've had a lot of guys, you see, it's the offensive line. It's everything. Mike Anderson rushed for 1,500 yards, was the rookie of the year. Clinton Porter's rookie of the year, 1,500 yards. But they didn't go to no Super Bowls. This guy right here, that number 21, he gets you to the bowl. I ain't talking about the Pro Bowl. I'm talking about to the Super Bowl. He's like that. He's that good. Skip.
I told you he's better than Le'Veon.
No.
I got it.
Whoa. See,
whoa. Yes, he is. You just opened the door and I ran through it.
I didn't ask you that, though. See? When I ask you a question, you don't want to talk. Now you want to try to... I'm reclaiming my time, Joy. I get an extra 30 seconds. Do like they do in Congress. I get an extra 20 seconds, Skip. Skip. I'm not Skip. The way I look at it like this, this is what I would have preferred him say. He can dress up how he want to. Look, we hoping Zeke doesn't get suspended at all. But if for some unknown reason this suspension stays, we feel very comfortable with the guys that we have behind Zeke that they can get the job done. And they will hold the fort down until Zeke comes back. Don't be...
That's not what he said.
I know that's not what he said. That's not what he said. That's what a leader would say. I mean, when I was out a couple of times, John Elway said, we beat just, everything gonna be good. They can't do what I do.
Did he say that?
No. Oh, John would never say that.
Oh, okay.
Because he knew they couldn't do what I do.
Oh.
So
those every game you missed, they lost.
No, I'm not saying that, Skip. No, I'm not saying that. But they won more with me in the lineup than they did when I was out of it.
Okay.
Check. All you got to do is just look at 1999. I broke my collarbone. Check the record. Check the record out that year.
Yep.
You should never play poker.
I don't know what happened. I played poker. Won me some money last week too, Skip.
Yeah, but there are no tells in that.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah. You're playing against the house and the dealer. Yeah.
But Skip, the thing is that you're looking at Darren McFadden. That was many, many years ago. He's not that guy. We know this, Skip.
Yep.
When you count on him to be the bell cow, more times than not, he's gonna get nicked. He has a very high running style, and his frame is not. He's not built to take that kind of collision. Alfred Morris, he rushed for 16-19, but that was in 2012, Skip. We in 2017.
He's fresh. Fresh legs, fresh body. Both of them.
Fruit is fresh. That's the only thing I know that's fresh.
Oh, okay.
Alfred Morris averaged 3.5 yards behind that offensive line. Darren McFadden averaged 3.6. Ezekiel averaged 5.1. Everything else is inconsequential to me.
So what happened this preseason? Those are
You got the preseason.
Those are Zeke numbers. 5.3 and 5.1, and a lot of carries.
You know that
carries for
that big cut down is coming, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these
They're
guys,
all there.
A lot of these guys, guess what they're gonna be doing, Skip? Are they gonna be playing the NFL on Sunday?
Yeah. But Alfred and Darren McFadden got the first team carries because Zeke barely played until.
Because Zeke was chilling. We know what Zeke gonna do.
Yeah.
Zeke gonna eat.
Yeah, he's gonna be chilling for 6
Whoa,
games.
whoa, Skip. I mean, I need you to keep the faith, Skip. Keep hope alive.
I have no hope on this one.
Keep hope alive.
Yeah. Well, I'm just
Yes,
telling
we
you,
can.
they're going to be. Yes, we can. Without him,
I
yes,
tell you,
we
he's gonna
can.
come.
Yes, yes, we can win games without him. I said 3-3, but you're pushing me closer and closer to 4-2 over those 6.
Whoa.
Yeah.
With the guy, with the 14th best player in all the NFL, with a top 5 quarterback, you only gonna win 4 of your first 6 without Zeke?
Yeah.
What kind of mess is this?
4-2. I'll take that. I'll take it. That would be good.
Hold on, no.
And it's a done deal. We are going to beat the New York Football Giants.
No.
That's just revenge. That's just straight.
You said that
even.
the last time they played.
Well.
That's what Dak played too.
It snowed all day.
You remember
Wet
Dak?
ball.
You remember what Dak said? Oh, they ruined his opener. Now he's gonna go up there and get revenge, and he wants some payback. He wants some get back. What did he get, Skip?
He got 10-7. That's what he got.
Was he the one with the 10?
Eli made one play, and his guy, Des Bryant, made no plays when he had chances.
Was he the guy with the 10? Yes or no?
He was handicapped by his receiver, who was handcuffed by the guy that you said would handcuff him.
Yeah.
And he was psychologically handcuffed because Dak made a big late throw that was going for a big gain. And then what happened? Pocket picked. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm just asking you a question. I just need to know when the Cowboys played the Giants twice, home and away, did Dak beat Eli? Yes or no?
Dak played well enough to win the first game. Well, he did.
Skip.
And he did not play well, but neither did Eli. Eli made one throw, and the first thing out of Eli's mouth in the postgame was, man, that ball was hard to throw because it was so slippery because it was a slush bowl game because the whole field had turned to slush after a whole day of snowing.
And he said, you know what? I was glad I was able to make one more play because Dak was playing in a phone booth. It was nice and dry. Skip, you need to stop playing. I ask you a simple question. In the 2 games last year,
Dallas will beat New York in this season's opening Sunday night game a week from this coming Sunday night.
Okay, but
that's all you need to know. You don't need to look into the past. You need to look ahead. Okay. Look forward to what's coming.
The question was,
because Dak is coming for you.
Do you like?
You are in harm's way. You have put yourself on the wrong limb.
You got Joy. Can you repeat the question again, please? I need the question read to me one more time.
Like that Dak said this.
What are we talking about last year for, Skip? Do I like that Dak said this? You like it, I do not, because I believe he could have been more presidential. Well, dang it. That's the wrong word. I ain't want to use first.
Bad idea.
I believe he could.
We don't want him to trend that way.
I believe he could have been more Secretary of something.
Yeah.
H.R. McMaster, or maybe James Mad Dog. Maybe he could have been him. Maybe he could have said, you know what, guys? we would like to have Zeke for the entire 6 games. But if we don't, we feel very comfortable with Darren McFadden and Alfred Morris. Boom.
You know what? He just sent a message to Ezekiel Elliott, his little buddy.
Skip.
He said, you know, nobody's irreplaceable, and maybe you should start cleaning up your act.
Skip.
That's what he was saying.
Skip. It's not about sending a message.
Got to get back on the train.
I just believe as the leader, that's the one thing about a coach. You have to understand how to talk to each individual player. I believe as a quarterback, as being the spokesman, you and I both believe that he is the official spokesman for this team. Well, Jerry's the official spokesman. But as far as players, I believe Dak has the cachet, and I just believe he could have handled it differently. He could have said, we're going to be okay. We'd love to have Zeke. Zeke is a special animal. He's first-team All-Pro. Boom. But to say, oh, we're going to move, we're going to be just fine, it won't matter. It will matter. You know what? You're right. It won't matter, Dak. But when you're 3-3 or 2-4, I want you to have the same conversation.
You know what is eating at you, what is scaring you to the bottom of your soul? That this kid came out of nowhere and took over this team last year, and it won 11 straight games. Think about it. Let that process. 11 straight games after the quarterbacks who replaced Tony Romo went 1-11 just the year before with the same supporting cast except for Ezekiel, but you did have Darren McFadden going for 1,000 yards. What's the difference?
And they still took a running back. Even with that being said, when you could have moved up to 3 and took Joey Bosa, you still took a running back behind that offensive line.
He's rare. He is a rare running back. And I've never said that they're better than he is, because they are not.
That's what he basically
But they're
said.
pretty good. No. They're good enough to win football games. That's what he's saying.
How many Hope Diamonds are they?
I don't know, 17?
Now, you know it's not 17. I don't know why you would say that. That's what Zeke is. Zeke is special. Yeah. He's rare.
Well, they made a special pick. I was all for Joey Bosa. And by the way, they could have used Joey Bosa. He's pretty special, too.
But Joey was gone. Yeah. Joey went third. Yeah. He went third to San Diego.
But I'm saying I pushed all before the draft. Please, Joey Bosa. And
ooh, now see, I'd have been scared with him on that D-line, because he can get after your quarterback.
He's no Taco Charlton, but he's pretty good.
Look here. Joey Bosa make Taco Charlton look like Vanessa Charlton.
Did you see what Taco did the other night? Another sack, right on schedule.
Hey, get out of that corner. Get out.
You know what he's doing? He and his line mates were making tacos.
Were they soft shell or hard shell tacos, Skip?
Soft shell. Making tacos. You're going to see a lot of making tacos.
I don't believe so. Yeah, if I go to a Mexican restaurant,
for a while you won't see this, but you're going to see this.
It was Taco Tuesday last night. You didn't have tacos?
No, Joey, I don't eat tacos. Sorry. No quesadillas. I don't eat that either. No burritos. Sorry. No.
It's more for me.
Skip, you eat tacos?
Yeah, I would eat.
Healthy tacos.
Yeah, you can make them healthy.
Don't worry about it.
Make them with lettuce wraps.
You're going to have heartburn after that first 6 weeks.
You know what?
Those first 6 weeks, you're going to have a lot of heartburn.
You're going to eat so much crow. You ate a whole bunch last year.
We'll make you
11
crow tacos.
straight.
No.
What kind?
Crow tacos.
Crow tacos. I like that.
I like crow.
It'll be crow
fried.
Crow Taco Monday.
No mercy. Former #1 overall pick Jameis Winston is entering his 3rd season, and he's been heavily featured in the last few weeks on HBO's Hard Knocks. Last year, the Bucs went 9-7, and their GM called Jameis, quote, the best leader I think I've ever been around. We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Welcome, Greg.
Good morning.
Skip, I'm going to start with you. How much pressure is on Jameis this year?
Huge pressure. Building pressure, because Jameis Winston is the breakout star of Hard Knocks, which has high viewership, which means the pressure mounts. And Jameis has just dominated the first 4 episodes. I watched the one last night. Huge personality, contagious charisma, natural-born leader, so much fun to watch. Obviously a star on the verge. He hasn't quite backed it up yet, but all of a sudden you look around and you say, gee, look at all of his new weapons and new video game toys that he's got. He's got Deshaun Jackson and O.J. Howard, and that Chris Godwin they drafted in the 3rd round was featured last night out of Penn State. Pretty good. You add that to Mike Evans, Cameron Brate, who was their 2nd best receiver last year. Doug Martin is looking like, whew, He's starting to look special.
He's due for a big season.
Unfortunately,
Yes,
he's
indeed.
gone for the first 4 games for a little PED use. So
He's in GNC,
yeah,
that
so
lock count.
I think it was PED. I hope I'm right about that. But he's gone for the first 4 games. And yet, I think people are starting to think this team is positioned to maybe win this division this year. And I love everything about Jameis. I thought he would be better than Mariota before the draft, and I loved it that the great Tim Grover, who trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, elected to say, I'm going to make him my new primary client. And so Tim Grover is working with Jameis Winston and has also been featured in Hard Knocks. But here's my final takeaway from the episodes I have watched so far. I don't love this coaching staff. And forgive me for saying this, sometimes you get the bird's eye view and you get to see too much. And maybe they're mugging for the cameras. Maybe they're acting out of character. But the whole staff seems a little high schoolish to me. They all seem a little in over their heads. And Dirk Cutter has bounced around in college football and pro football, got fired at Arizona State, and then he's a coordinator at Jacksonville, then in Atlanta, finally at Tampa Bay, and sort of inherited the job, rose into the job when Lovie Smith got fired. And he's not convincing. As convincing as Jameis is, this guy's unconvincing, and he's very hard on Jameis in practice, so you get to see it up close and personal. And I don't like a head coach who's constantly all over his quarterback in practice. It's too hard of a position to play. Do that behind closed doors.
Right.
Don't do it. Don't mug for the cameras when you're trying to show.
That's not normal.
I know. I don't love it. And remember, he spoke out against Jameis last year and said he's concerned about his growth. And look, Jameis, he'll make some dumb decisions every once in a while. He just does.
Yep.
And he's got to get that out of his system if he's ever going to take it to the next level.
Yes.
But it feels like Dirk Cutter is insecure enough as the head coach that he's trying to point the finger constantly at Jameis, like planting excuses in case of. Don't blame me. He still makes these dumb throws. And Dirk Cutter isn't good enough to do that. And my final takeaway from last night was, as much as I like this team on the verge, I think the coaching staff is going to present a ceiling for this team. That's just my gut feeling. They might limit how far this team can go.
It's time for him to take the next step, Skip. But what needs to happen, and over the last 2 years, he's only behind Blake Bortles in turnovers. He had 18 interceptions, 6 fumbles lost.
I got it.
That was second behind Phillip Rivers last year.
I hear you.
So the turnovers need to come down.
They do.
The completion percentage and touchdowns need to go up. Now, maybe his completion percentage won't go up as much as we think it should for the simple fact he's going to have to air the ball out to D-Jack.
Absolutely.
Because that's why you got him. You got him to take the top off, and you're going to have to put the ball up to him a couple of times a game. And even if you go, 45% on 50-yard touchdowns, you would take that.
He threw one in practice that they had in Hard Knocks last night. It took your breath away. It was a bomb. It was 60 yards in the air.
And D-Jack, he still got wheels. He can still go get the ball.
Yeah.
So you got D-Jack. You get O.J. Howard fall in your lap, I think, at 19.
Yeah.
Mike Evans comes back. He's only going to get better. As you mentioned, Skip, they're going to miss Doug Martin. But this defense is better than people think. They're very opportunistic. They will give you an opportunity to get back on the field. Jameis just needs to cut down on the turnovers and get that touchdown and completion percentage up. They're on their way. Now, Skip, he happens to be in a division. That's the best quarterback division in football. You got Cam, who's been an MVP. Matt Ryan has been an MVP. Drew Brees has been 2 times Offensive Player of the Year with 5,000-yard passing seasons. So he's up against it. And guess what? Cam is only in his 7th year. Matt Ryan is like 10 or 11. So they're not going anywhere.
No.
And you got, at worst case scenario, you're going to have Drew Brees for another 2 years. So in order for them to get to where they need to be, he's going to really have, not a small step, he's got to take a giant step if this team is to get in the playoffs. Because Aaron Rodgers is not going anywhere. You believe the Cowboys, Dak is young, Russell Wilson's young. So he has his work cut out for him. But if you look at him, he's the type of person, he has the type of personality that people will gravitate towards him. Guys love playing with him. They will follow him. They believe in him. And that's something that you can't teach. Guys know. And a lot of times people think, well, just because he plays the position. No. Guys follow guys that they know that they're invested into it, and this guy has that type of charisma and personality. If he cuts down on his turnovers, they're going to be to deal with.
That's it for me. His turnovers, you cut that down. I definitely, does he Is he having this pressure that's on him? Yes. And the reason why is because he now has weaponry around him to where it points back at him to perform because the guys around him, we've seen them play at a high level. We've seen what D-Jack brings to the table. We've seen Mike Evans blossom into this superstar talent. Doug Martin, as you mentioned, and he has additional weapons now that they've drafted. My thing, and you touched on this a little bit, when you have coaches that constantly jump on you, and we don't see the encouragement, we don't see the, you know what, good play. You have to balance that out when you're dealing with a young quarterback. But I think he's already proven so many naysayers wrong with just his maturation process from Florida State to Tampa Bay, from the college football game to the league, from off-the-field issues to his off-the-field personal life now. He's learned how to manage things so much better, which I think it's going to trickle over into his performance on the field. You mentioned them being 6-10 and then 9-7. I think this is it seems like it's easy to win that one more game. But that one more game is what will allow them to get to the next level, and then we get to see a Jameis Winston in the playoffs, in a pressure situation, and how he responds in those situations. And we've seen him in the national football.
Have we?
We've seen him in the national
game. He's a big game player.
He's a big game player. I want to see him in more situations like
this. He's going to have to be, because we believe Carolina got better with the addition of Christian McCaffrey. Kelvin Benjamin is now 2 years removed from that ACL injury. We believe the New Orleans Saints have gotten better.
I do.
Now, the question is, how will Atlanta be after losing their offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan, who's now the head coach in San Francisco? That's going to be interesting. So they're going to have their work cut out for him. But this guy right here, cut down the interception. If he can be somewhere around 10 or 11, be somewhere between, say, 28 and 35 touchdowns, they'll make the playoffs. But those big turnovers, because they're backbreakers, he's giving up pick sixes. He's turning the ball over in plus territory, and that's a no-no.
You said something earlier about guys want to play with him because he's charismatic. You gravitate to that. He said something that it got me, and it was simple. His mantra this year is own it. As a quarterback, when you're dealing with the offensive line who has the pressure of protecting you, you have receivers who depend on you to get them the ball. You have running backs that you want to put them in the best position to run the ball. I own it. He's letting his teammates know, look, guy, I'm not passing the buck. This is me. I get it. It's my time. And in order for them to make the next step and go to the next level as a team and as an organization, it's on him. He understands.
Final thought. I'm not sure I would wish hard knocks on anybody, any team, because it puts so much focus on, and I'm not sure everyone on camera is being themselves. But it creates so much focus and attention. And it's great. Last night I started watching. I wasn't even going to watch it, and I couldn't stop. I watched the whole thing straight through.
Go ahead and watch the first season. Them old Ravens. Them old Ravens.
Were you in that one?
Me, Ray, Goose.
You know he put on.
You were a lesser light.
Oh, no, he put on.
But we know.
Shannon acting out when the camera goes on?
Really?
Unheard of.
Never seen that before.
Where does that happen? No mercy. Bengals linebacker Vontaze Burfict is facing a 5-game suspension for an illegal hit on Chiefs fullback Anthony Sherman in a preseason game. Burfict is waiting on a ruling on his appeal. He was suspended for the first 3 games last season for a hit on Antonio Brown. Yesterday, Marvin Lewis talked about Burfict's style of play. Let's take a listen.
In my opinion, Vontaze has changed. He's learned, he's changed, but he's a 250-pound man that hits like a dynamite. I mean, it's like hitting hit by a cement truck. And that's the way he's going to play. You know, that's just the way he plays. He's got great hip explosion. That's why the player he is. He's got great hip explosion. The dynamics of his body are such that he's like getting hit by a 300-pound person.
We're joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob.
What's happening? Good morning, everybody.
So, Rob, the Bengals have had several discipline issues during Marvin Lewis's time as head coach. How much pressure should he be under this year?
He should be under enormous pressure. In fact, if they don't make the playoffs and win a playoff game, Marvin Lewis should be fired by the Cincinnati Bengals.
I hate to tell you this, but That's been said like for 6 or 7 straight years.
You're absolutely right. And Skip, you know what? I worked in Cincinnati. You know that. The Cincinnati Enquirer.
How old are you? 73? You spent 20 years at the Detroit paper and 15 in Cincinnati?
I didn't stay there 15, but I was the first black writer who ever covered the Reds.
Well, you 80-year-old journalist. You could be the first black in a lot of things.
But when I was in Cincinnati, I always looked at both the Reds and the Bengals as being run like a mom and pop store. That, you know, they were just not family usual. Owned. Right, family owned, and none of the decisions made sense sometimes. And you would say, that's why, because there's no corporate structure. It's just somebody making an opinion. And Marvin Lewis, for whatever reason, has been able to escape. He is the Houdini of the NFL. And we're not only just talking about on the field, but off the field as well. They've had nothing but issues, a lot of arrests, a lot of problems there. And I don't want to say it's been out of control since Marvin Lewis took over there, but their pregame meal consists of sodium-free bread.
I knew this was coming. Yeah, I get it.
Sodium-free bacon, a mugshot, which is suitable for framing, and handcuffs, personalized. That's how bad it's been in Cincinnati. Wow. And it's so bad in the postseason for Marvin Lewis, you might as well call him the WOT, the worst of all time.
Really?
0-7 in the postseason.
He's 0-7.
And I just can't see any other coach sticking around when you look at everything that's been there. It makes no sense. And Mike Brown, for whatever reason, he's cool with it.
He is.
And
Marvin
Marvin
Lewis,
Lewis,
he's not only the owner, he's the GM.
Right,
so
he's
he
everything.
runs the whole show.
So I don't get it. I just think that at some point, and you're right, I've said it a few times.
You have.
Other people have said it.
Other people have said it.
It makes no sense why he's still there. And if they don't get something happen, I'm talking about not making the playoffs, which they didn't make last year, they need to win a playoff game.
Marvin Lewis is not under much pressure. You know why, Skip?
No.
Marvin Lewis arrived in Cincinnati in 2003. How many years had it been since they made the playoffs before Marvin Lewis arrived? The last year they made the playoffs was 1990. So a 14-year span. The Cincinnati Bengals and one Shannon Sharpe are the exact same age, 49. They came into existence in 1968. They've been to the playoffs exactly 14 times.
Okay, but
they went to the Super Bowl twice, though.
Two Super Bowls.
They've been to the Super Bowl twice.
They went to the playoffs 7 times in the first 35 years. They've gone to the playoffs 7 times in Marvin Lewis's 14 years. See, you said something very interesting, Skip. You said Mike Brown is the GM. Who signed Vontaze Burfict as a free agent? There's a reason why you was able to get him as a free agent. He has a history of this type of behavior going back to high school. He did it in college. Skip, they signed Adam Jones. Adam Jones was let go by Tennessee. Why, Skip? Disciplinary reasons. He was let go by the Cowboys, Skip, for what reason? Disciplinary reasons. So how do we know maybe Marvin wants to do something, but Marvin is in no position if Mike Brown...
Why is he in no position, Shannon? I'm not going to buy that. If I'm the head coach and you're telling me that ownership is sending me bad boys and problems, and I gotta just stay there and take it?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, well, as a man, I wouldn't accept that. If I don't have it, I don't have a right to make decisions on some of the players who come in and put together.
No,
I don't have that. Then I wouldn't be the coach in Cincinnati. I don't care how long.
Do you understand how valuable? There's 32 people.
I don't
Marvin
care.
Lewis one of 32, Skip. You know how hard it is.
And his reputation is
what? African Americans, Rob, they don't get recycled.
But
you
his
talking about like he Bill Parcells.
No, but with his reputation, he doesn't have any moral fiber to stand on. It's all about.
I'm not holding.
It's all about.
I'm not holding Marvin Lewis responsible for no grown-ass man continuously exhibiting this type of behavior.
But it's not happening any place else in other situations. They're professionals. So Marvin Lewis cannot, you mean to tell me Mike Brown is the one who's going to say, take all these bad boys, and I don't care, and it's your reputation, and you stay there, and I'll pay you, and you just live with it? Yeah. You're telling me that's what's going on? I don't believe that's happening.
it is unprecedented in the National Football League that you could be going into your 15th season in a job in which your record is 118 and 103. So you're barely above 500 over 14 years, and you've been to the playoffs 7 times, but you haven't once even won one playoff game. And you've had a lot of these Houston kind of games where it's 50-50, and you'd say, well, at least you could break through and win one of them to keep your job. But it doesn't seem to bother the owner/GM whatsoever. And yet he's the second longest tenured coach in the NFL to Bill Belichick, who's going into his 18th season. I mean, that's like staggering to me. But here's what gets me. I have a lot of respect for Marvin Lewis as a man. I think he has high character. I don't know him well, but I just
know Marvin very well. He does.
Well, you were around him in Baltimore, and he coached your defense. And I think he's a really good defensive football coach, and he's hired a lot of good offensive coordinators. They have a whole string of Jay Grudens and Hugh Jacksons, right?
And Mike Zimmer is the head coach.
Mike Zimmer, okay? So the point is that they have had a lot of bad actors. They've had a lot of trouble players. You could make a case it's kind of hard to do, it's kind of apples to oranges sometimes, but they probably had more over time, certainly because he's been there for so long, than other franchises have had.
Correct.
And I've often wondered the same thing about Marvin Lewis that I wondered about the great Tom Landry. Tom Landry had nothing but troubled players. I can show you chapter and verse. If you go back through his, whatever it was, 29 years. 29 years.
But the only difference, what's the big difference between the two? Tom Landry won.
Okay, he won.
He won.
And he was perceived as God's coach because he was a big Fellowship of Christian Athletes guy. Okay, so, but I always wondered, why doesn't he rub off on those guys? Because the Cowboys had a whole police blotter under him of really, really bad actors. Don't get me started. But in this case, it's a lot of trouble players all the way to the newest one. Who took Joe Mixon in the middle of the second round? Cincinnati. And I had no problem with him getting drafted in the middle of the second round. I was fine with it. I thought he had paid his prices that he was asked to pay. But okay, so but it was, I guess it wasn't shocking, but it's like, what? Cincinnati did it again? They're going to take Joe Mixon? And by the way, he is really good, and he might just change their life this coming year.
It was never about his ability to play football.
No, it's not about his ability. I got it. I got it. But there is risk involved, as there was risk involved with all these guys that we've listed. You start going in the laundry list, it's a long list. So I always ask, why didn't Tom Landry rub off on those guys? Why wouldn't he, the great and powerful Tom Landry, why couldn't he keep those guys in line a little better? Marvin doesn't rub off either. Do you see what I mean? And I feel like Marvin, I'm going to put some words in his mouth as I piece together a lot of his interviews, but I think he looks at pro football as a game played by tough people, right?
Yes, a different mindset. It's different than any other sport.
Right. And Marvin's attitude is, tough people sometimes step over the line.
But that's fine, and I get that. We're not putting together a church choir. That's not what I'm asking for. But I'm surprised that over and over again, and maybe it's karma. Maybe that's why Marvin Lewis will never win anything, and eventually be the woke and be out of football as a head coach for never winning a playoff game. That's all I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question? Why didn't Bill Belichick rub off on Aaron Hernandez? A guy that's so disciplined, so focused. Can you answer me that, Rob?
That's not what I'm talking about.
And by the way, he was defective before they drafted him.
And they knew it. They knew it. They weren't duped. They knew it. He was on how many lists going in?
A lot of teams
how many teams had it? Do not draft list.
Yes.
Am I right?
Okay,
so it was not like they were shocked or surprised.
But we almost make it seem, here's the thing. The problem that I have is that if we like a coach, if the players mess up, it's the players. But if we don't like the coach, it's the coach's fault.
I'm not on that. I'm not on that. I don't believe in that.
Did that happen?
No, I understand
so let me ask you a question.
I understand
did Chandler Parsons go into a police station and get on his hands and knees? I mean, Chandler Jones. Did that happen? Was that Bill Belichick's fault? No. These girls get robbed. These are not high school players.
But
These
Shannon,
are grown men.
I get it, but the only thing is where's the end result? There's no production. 0-7 in the postseason tells me this is no good. If I got some winning and mixed in that, then maybe I can make an exception for it.
I get it, but Rob,
that's all I'm saying.
They went 14 years and didn't even go to the postseason.
That's nice. You know what? It's about once you get there, I don't want to talk about what happened before and how you didn't get there. All I know is since Marvin Lewis, they're 0-7. That's a franchise you can laugh at it all you want. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. The Detroit Lions have never been to a Super Bowl. I could go through all these teams that have never been there.
Rob, if you're hungry and if you haven't eaten in a while and somebody just gives you rice, are you going to complain?
Yes, because where's the beef to go with
it? Okay. Yeah.
So to me, bottom line to this discussion, I think Cincinnati's going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I picked them to go to the Super Bowl
last year.
Remember.
That's a good point.
Rob, we don't take your pick serious. Me and Skip like.
But if they lay an egg, if they have another, they had a few years back that 4-12 seed. If they have that kind of year, I don't see how Marvin could publicly survive the onslaught from the Bengals fans. I don't know.
With cheap Mike Brown?
I don't know.
No mercy. The Isaiah Thomas-Kyrie Irving blockbuster trade is still not finalized because of concerns over Isaiah's injured hip. ESPN reports the Cavs are willing to accept a late first or second round pick as compensation to complete the trade with Boston. Isaiah talked about his injury and said, "I am not damaged. There's never been an indication that I wouldn't be back, and there's never been an indication that this is something messing up my career. Maybe I'm not going to be back as soon as this season as everyone wants me to be, but I'm going to be back, and I'm going to be the same player again. No doctor has told me anything different than that." Shannon, how will this play out?
First of all, Skip, what did we expect Isaiah Thomas to say? Man, I'm damaged goods. Man, I'm never going to be the same player. Knowing that he said last year he was a max contract player. Knowing he's in the final year, he's wanting a max contract deal. So he said everything that I expected him to say. But Skip, assuming that the Cavaliers are comfortable when their doctors and when they give him a thorough workover, they're comfortable with this deal, they're not going to get one of the players, the Jaylen Browns or the Jason Tatum. They're not going to get one of those guys, but I do believe they'll get a late first-round pick out of this deal. Now, the Celtics have they have the Lakers pick in 2018, but only if it falls between 2 and 5. I don't know. I don't think they're going to get that one, but they do have some picks. The Kings, they have maybe 2019, the Clippers pick that's top 14 protected or something like that. So they'll get a late first-round pick, maybe even a second out of the deal. They're not going to get what they originally wanted. But, Skip, I think this trade will go through because the Celtics know Kyrie doesn't want to be there. He's made that abundantly clear. This is the best deal that the Cavs can get, but it's not the only deal that they can get. We know that because there are a lot of teams, but they don't want to get fleeced like Indiana got fleeced or like the Bulls got fleeced by giving up Jimmy Butler. So I believe it's going to go through. They'll end up getting a late first or second round pick. They won't get a big name player or one of these young players that they wanted to complete this deal. But Boston needs to get this deal done. They need to get this deal done for the very simple fact, Skip. If they don't get Kyrie, what are they? They're going to have Isaiah. He goes back there. He's going to be ticked off. He wanted a max contract deal. You say, we're going to take care of you. He helped recruit Gordon Hayward. Jay Crowder goes back there. Everybody looking at everybody sideways. Because we know if Kyrie goes back to Cleveland, they're going to move him. And the Boston Celtics, they're not going anywhere. They might go to the second round. They won't even make the Eastern Conference Finals without Kyrie. So they have to get this deal done. They'll sweeten the pot, make the lemonade a little sweeter, add a little bit more sugar. It'll get done.
The Cavs will get nothing more, and the Cavs will like it.
I bet
because
you.
This is
it's
over.
Better case to do, they'll get something.
Something?
They'll get a late first or a second round pick. Better case.
Okay, well, better case they won't get Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Better case. Come on, better case.
I just said that.
Okay, but that was what they wanted. The rest is just window dressing. A second-round pick, I'm not going to bet against that.
Isaiah Thomas was a second-round pick. Ain't nothing wrong with him. Carlos Boozer was a second-round pick.
Okay.
Okay, so hey, you know how we do in Cleveland.
Yeah, I want to bet due on something that matters.
What?
After I got rooked out of that fight the other day.
No, you ain't get rooked.
I did.
And I told, hey, guess what? TKO played double.
It does not.
Yes, it does, Skip.
Oh, please,
Skip,
stop
let me ask you, I just want to know one thing before you go, Skip. Technical knockout. In KO, in TKO, Joy? Come on, Joy. Joy, the man beat him so bad he couldn't even put his head, couldn't even defend himself. He couldn't even say, et tu, Brute. He couldn't even say, you too. You know, just go ahead and do me. Just,
Did you read Julius Caesar? Did you? You know it?
I know about castrus and calpurnia.
Do you? Okay.
Lean, hungry looks such women are dangerous.
That's true. Yes.
You.
We didn't come to praise Caesar, but to bury him, right? Okay, here we go. Back to this.
Friends, Romans, countrymen.
Yes. Okay. The Cavs have been playing a game here. It's an oh, woe, are we game, and they are trying to fleece Boston out of some other pick, down the line pick, because they know Boston has some left in the vault. And that's after they agreed to a deal in which they full well knew that Isaiah Thomas hadn't yet completely healed from a hip that he did not have surgically repaired in the offseason. So I'm calling baloney on Cleveland here. And the point is that they were, you know this and I know this, they were rightfully criticized for trading Kyrie Irving, a top 5 player, to their arch rival, the team that is about to dethrone them in the East. They took heavy criticism for that, so they have been trying to save face by asking for Jason Tatum and asking for Jaylen Brown, because that sounds good to your constituency, to your fans. Oh, wow, we asked for those guys. Well, it's just PR posturing because they knew they weren't going to be given those guys. And in the end, I don't believe they'll be given anything. I'm not going to bet on it, but I'm pretty sure this game is over because their bluff has been called.
I bet you your coffee mug. I bet you your coffee mug.
I'll bet you coffee mug since I never put anything in it.
That's
right?
okay.
Yeah.
You will have a coffee mug, so you can't get another to replace it.
Okay, that is fine. And yet, even Brad Stevens said publicly 2 days before the trade was announced that Isaiah Thomas isn't ready to start camp. Well, that's all you need to know. And then a longtime NBA reporter, again, he's in Boston at the Boston Herald, Steve Bulpett, reported that he had checked with a Cavs source who said, well, yeah, what they gave us, the notes they gave us from their physicians, from Boston's team doctors, are consistent with what our doctors found when we examined his hip. So there's no shock to this. There's no, oh my God, he can't ever play again, which is why when Isaiah said that, and I agree with you, he's going to say that, but if he knew he was really hurt, he would have just shut up about it. He would have said nothing about it. If he knew he was damaged the way Bo Jackson, God bless him, once upon a time, when he hurt his hip and he knew it was over, Priest Holmes is another one. Because you know and I know, some of these hips can go to the point where you just can't operate anymore. You're done as a professional athlete. You might be able to, in Bo's case, shoot bow and arrow, but that's about all you're going to be able to do.
Well, he played, you know, he was in the American League, so he had an opportunity to DH. He could no longer play the field, but he had, because they had to have that hip replace, Skip. I mean, it blew out the socket. But Skip, look, if I'm buying a car, you're like, Shannon, you know, I got this car for sale. It got a little dent in it, but it's okay. It'll work. And they're like, okay, Skip, here, I'm wiring you the money. I get on and look at the car. I'm like, Skip, you told me it was a little dent. The whole left side caved in.
Oh, so you're saying that Isaiah's left side is caved in? Well, that's what you're saying. So you're saying he's damaged beyond repair?
No, I'm saying that what you told me isn't really true. You told me there was a dent. They said he might not be ready for open. He might not be at the start of camp. Hell, he might not be ready till after the All-Star game.
Oh, I don't know that. I just figure he'll be pretty okay for the start of the regular season.
No.
Yeah.
No, so we want a first-round pick.
You know, and it finally sank into you that you got back in return for Kyrie Irving, a 5'9" defensive liability who hogs the basketball.
With an
That's what
hip.
You're sweating about.
Skip, how you gonna Skip? We got a 6'9" guy, 255.
Yeah.
12, 30, 1984.
Immaculate.
Yeah.
Right.
That hog that go.
Yeah.
LeBron gonna be the MVP.
Okay, fine. So why we're going to do this topic later in the show, but I'm going to bring it up right now. Day after day, LeBron is on Twitter or whatever.
Why you worry about what he owns?
Because he's constantly having to tell us how great he is and show us how hard he works. Just do it, man. I'm like, come on. So
Bill Gates tell you how much money he got. He donated another $4.6 billion.
LeBron got called out by Kyrie Irving because it got out that Kyrie had had enough of LeBron. So the way he fights back is, thin-skinned as he is, he's got to keep posting on whatever social media he's going to post on. I'm doing this and I'm going to do that. He's the best player on the planet. You don't
say
need
it
to tell us.
again.
Well, that's what you say.
No, that's what you just
He's
said.
already on Mount Rushmore,
Unprompted.
according to you.
Moving closer to the left, the old Georgia spot.
So why does he even need Isaiah Thomas? I'll be honest with you. I think Isaiah Thomas might get in LeBron's way more than you think.
Nobody getting in LeBron's way.
Yeah.
When that freight train comes steaming down the court.
Okay, well, let him play. Let him play, point forward. He can dribble the ball up the floor, and then...
What you mean, let?
Yeah.
He's been doing that his whole career.
Okay, so what's the problem? What do you want 5'9" for?
Because that's
You want him to be a 5'9" shooting guard?
I want him to give us about 25 points a game.
Yep.
LeBron going to do the rest. LeBron is going to average 28, probably like 10 and 7. He's going to be the MVP. Kyrie going to do his thing. He's going to be swashbuckling. He'll be dancing. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my, I can hear Kevin Harlan and what's the other guy? His son, Albert. Marv Albert. I can see them right now. Oh, my. Guess what? Going nowhere.
Really?
While LeBron's in the finals again.
Gordon Hayward, Al Horford, Jaylen
Gordon
Brown,
Hayward. When did
Jason
Gordon
Tatum.
Hayward become Larry Bird?
I never said that, but he's pretty good. Made the All-Star team.
When did Al Horford become Akeem Olajuwon?
He's pretty good in the Eastern Conference or the Leastern Conference. Ain't no cakewalk anymore, LeBron. LeBron's in trouble.
Al Horford didn't even average 7 rebounds a game. 14 points.
He's a really good all-around basketball player.
Really good ain't good enough.
Yep. I like the chemistry. I like
he's making great money. I don't need a really good player. I need a great player.
Yep.
Because he's making great money.
Hey.
So those two things don't go together, Skip. Oh, he's really good, but he's making great money.
Here comes Boston.
Okay.
Yep.
And there they go.
LeBron better post another weight room video.
He
better.
What?
That's going to scare off Boston. Maybe they'll back off.
LeBron DM'd me last night. He said he covered all the mirrors in his house. So you walk by, he's like, ooh, good God almighty. Ooh, joy. He said he covered every mirror in his house. So you walk by me, ooh, bad.
Really?
Somebody in a heap of trouble.
Because he's getting a little too skinny.
No.
He's starting to get skinny.
No. Ooh, he said, ooh, I can't wait till we get to that topic. Man, LeBron been doing big things. Did you see him going to the fight? Him and Savannah?
I saw him.
Oh, LeBron had
looked
decked
good.
out. Ooh, LeBron was decked out. Savannah had on that short pants suit on. I said, go get him, Savannah. Go, girl. And Brown was just stepping up in that thing. Said, yeah, I'm about to watch Money beat the brakes off this joker.
Yeah. He looked like an older player.
Stop it, Skip.
He looked like kind of an ambassador for the NBA.
Skip, you need to stop.
Like sitting ringside to represent the NBA.
You know there's no cure for that.
Advanced age and stature.
You know there's no cure for hater. I mean, once that thing get in your Skip, I mean, they treat you your whole life, and it never gets out of you.
It's over.
Get Kyrie
You know
off
what?
there.
The charade is over for the Cavaliers. It's over.
So what?
You tried. You bluffed. You failed.
So what are we betting on who gets to the Eastern Conference Final? What are we betting?
know.
Make it loud on yourself. You want to bet some of my yak? I mean, some of my some of my hen dog. I got some extra. I got some special reserve coming. I got some black.
You're gonna run out of your space in your house with all this alcohol.
I'm about to switch over and get some yak. I'm on that yak now.
Are you? You're on it? Uh-oh. We're in trouble.
No mercy. LeBron James is back on Twitter giving himself motivational messages. After the NBA posted a mixtape of his greatest moments from last season, LeBron tweeted, "And I got so much more for the archives coming soon. Hashtag strive for greatness."
God.
Is it a LeBron tweet if he doesn't put strive for greatness on it? I'm not
Much more.
I don't think I'll let him tweet it.
Mo.
Skip, what does this tell you?
I'm going to say this again, and I am not joking about this. I believe your man is losing it. This is just getting flat out weird because it's happening night after night after night. So let's get this straight. Everyone calls this man the best player on the planet. You've already enshrined him up on Mount Rushmore.
Correct.
With his 4 faces. So
yes.
He's one of the 4 greatest faces in the history of the National
Basketball Association. We tried to move left.
You're trying to move left. In fact, you might have him all the way left for all I know. So why does he have to keep reminding us how great he is and how hard he works? Because Michael Jordan in interviews, did he ever tell us how great he was or how hard he works every morning, every offseason?
He told everybody else.
No, he didn't tell anybody.
He told Magic, told Larry.
Yeah, but he didn't need to tell the public because we just knew how great he was. LeBron, to me, is shockingly insecure. Everything he posts night after night after night smacks of, remember me? I'm LeBron James. Yeah, we do. We get it. You're LeBron James.
The best.
But he's increasingly a product of and a prisoner of social media. And I don't understand it except for the fact that I think it really stung him to his core that he got, quote-unquote, outed by Kyrie's exit because it became clear Kyrie wanted no more part of having to play with and live with all that is LeBron, all the drama queen stuff, all the look at me stuff, all the weird rants after weird games in New Orleans. Remember, we're top heavy as bleep. It's like after a while, Kyrie went KD, as in I want out. KD wanted out of Russell Westbrook, and Kyrie followed the same path a different way via trade, just saying, I don't want to do this anymore. And I think it hurt LeBron, and I think he's acting out on social media. He can be a little childlike occasionally.
You make it seem like he's cutting himself for setting fires or something. Stop it.
I didn't say that, but it's just crazy. You don't, if you're the guy that you say he is, you know, that guy was born on whatever the date
12/30/84.
Okay. If you're that guy, why do you have to night after night say, look at me, I'm working out, I'm great. I'm striving for great. We get it. We get it. You've been doing it for 14 years. What's the point? What's he trying to prove? Why don't you just show us? You showed us this year. You played the most minutes. You averaged a triple-double. You lost in 5 games in the finals. So
Your
just
team
show
didn't
us.
Make it to the finals?
Yeah.
Skip. All he do is he got clips. All he's saying, he's just going to add more stuff to the archive. That's all he's saying, Skip.
Adding to the archives? Why do you have to announce that? Cause what?
I mean, he took the Kia, he went and worked out, posted a clip, he took the jet. You remember he took the G5 up to New York?
Wait, are you saying he actually drives a Kia around town? Really?
Hold on. Michael Jordan know where Haynes draws, but he show advertised for him.
How do you know he does?
Okay then. How you know he don't drive a Kia?
Well, I don't know.
I know
there was a commercial he made that he does drive a Kia.
Yeah, I saw him pull up to a game in it.
Did you?
White one, murdered out windows.
Really?
Yeah. Got out of it stepping, dropped 35 on somebody. I forget who it was.
Don't believe it, but go ahead.
All he's doing, Skip, is just letting everybody know. Keep this thing. Let y'all know, because y'all don't think he's working, but he putting in work.
I never question his work ethic.
Well, don't question why he on Twitter.
Well, why do you have to keep telling us about it?
He need to give his boy about 18 million of those followers, so I'll be trumping you. He got like almost 40 mil.
Well, that's a cheap way to get them.
I don't care how to get them. I'm going to give me some bots.
Bots?
Yeah. They're like followers, but they don't really.
He's gonna pay for them.
He's gonna pay?
I'm not gonna pay for anything. You gonna pay for being blatantly and disrespectful to
I'm
one
not being
team.
I'm being honest about it. I'm fearing for him. I don't like this for him.
LeBron is fine.
He's so much better than
No,
this.
he's not. He's exactly what he's supposed to be, who he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to. Like them old people say, like he's supposed to be. Skip, the man is ready. You saw him, Skip. You talking about he looking skinny. You ain't never seen that. And that's the thing what you got to do. As you get older, you drop a few pounds so you can be streamlined. See, that's the mistake that a lot of athletes make. As they get older, they play the same weight. LeBron said, I'm coming down, bro. I'm coming down because I'm going to do something bad.
That. I appreciate that.
I'm going to do something bad to the NBA.
I like that.
And the archive, Skip, that was just a little snippet. That was a little snippet. I mean, because you can only post stuff for like a couple of minutes on social media. But LeBron going to have another whole archive. We're going to have a library. The LeBron James going to be like a president. You know how they get a presidential library? LeBron going to have one of them.
But every late night post smacks of, remember me? I'm LeBron James.
How can you forget
look
it?
at me. I'm LeBron James. Yeah, you are.
Let me ask
You're better than that. You don't have to tell us.
When the last time you seen, Nicole Murphy? She ain't got to post nothing. I still know she look good. What about Halle Berry? She ain't been in the movie in a long, long time. Still look good. LeBron James, he ain't got to post.
New movie.
Huh?
That's a new movie.
Yeah, it was here one day and gone the next. She must have been gone in 67 because it was gone.
What is it, Kidnapped, I think?
Yeah, I know it was in the movie on a Friday. It was gone that Saturday. But anyway, LeBron, look at LeBron. You look at that picture. You're like, ooh. And you see that little logo, that Goodyear. You see, Skip.
Wait, is that a current picture or is that from...
You know that's a current picture because that's a brand new uniform because they got the Goodyear logo on it. Stop hating, Skip Bayless.
Oh, Goodyear. Wait, the Kias have Goodyear on them?
Yeah, no, they got Pirelli. They got the low profile run flat.
I don't think they have Pirelli.
They got run flat.
I don't think
they run
do.
flat tires.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mean. Ooh. You ought to see that Kia swooped up.
Why don't you drive a Kia?
I won't get one.
Yeah.
Brian trying to work on me something right now. But I'm talking about, hold up, what's that foot? Isn't that that's like Mercury or something fast, that foot, that athlete with the wing?
It is.
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it, Joey? Skip, you was that Greek mythology and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What is that foot? What is that Goodyear sign? What's that? Mercury? It was somebody fast.
Mercury, yeah.
Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury fast. Whoop. Get down the court. Did you see that video he posted where he ran down the court like 10 times? Dunked on one end, run down to the other, dunk on the other end. He just did it over and over. Nobody can do what he did.
You're LeBron James. We get it. We know it.
He wants to be #1 on Mount Rushmore. He wants to be an old Georgia
You need to call him right after the show and say, guess what, King? You're okay. We get it. You're fine. Don't worry about it. We got you.
King, we good.
No mercy. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Join us the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.